Mahoney County Board of Elections will hold its regularly scheduled board meeting of the members of the board on Tuesday, December 5th, 2023 at 4 p.m. in the boardroom of the Mahoney County Board of Elections offices at 345 Oak Hill Avenue, Youngstown, Ohio. Would the director call the roll, please?
Ms. Barger?
Here.
Attorney Beatrice?
Here.
Ms. Charge?
Here.
Would we stand and would the vice chairwoman lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we have a moment of silence for our nation, please? The chair will now recognize a motion to approve the minutes of the November 29th, 2023 adjourned special regular board meeting.
So moved.
There's a motion made by Vice Chairwoman Sandra Barger. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Bob Arndt. Is there any discussions? Hearing none, would the director call the roll, please?
Ms. Barger?
Yes.
Attorney Beatrice?
Yes.
Ms. Charge?
Yes.
We will now, the chair will now entertain a motion to approve the bills of account and payments for October and November of 2023. Is there a motion?
So moved.
There's a motion made by Vice Chairwoman Sandra Barger. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Bob Arndt. Is there any discussion? If I could just have a moment, I just wanted to look at a couple things here.
Yeah.
Well, you can definitely tell how expensive an election is, because you got $10,000 in postage and mailings, you got $40,000 in election ballots,
Yeah.
and that's just for the last one.
And board member Bob did have a question about the advertising e-notice Inc. And that's how we now pay the Tribune Vindicator.
Oh, okay.
Through that.
The one question I had was the integrated voting systems. That's the printing of the ballots?
Yes.
Okay. And the postage of 10,000, that's just the postage for the absentees? Very expensive to hold another election, and now we gotta hold maybe more.
Even it doesn't say it in here altogether, but it was about 220,000 altogether for the poll workers, the security, and the election day staffing.
So,
That doesn't even
a general, an election, either in a primary or in a regular election, how much does that cost?
Just the staffing?
No, everything. And I'll take your best guess.
Last August was almost $330-some thousand for our special, because that's what we got reimbursed from the state. And they covered everything.
So we're looking just Mahoney County,
Just
the
now,
state, anywhere from 650 to $750,000.
easy.
If we have to hold another special,
Yeah.
two more special
Two
elections.
more, even more, but there's 11 counties that have to go through.
Well, that's just us.
Yeah, just us.
Okay. All right, is there any more questions or concerns? Hearing none, would the director call the roll, please?
Ms. Barger?
Yes.
Attorney Beatrice?
Yes.
Ms. Charge?
Yes.
Chairman's report. Oh, the chairman has a report. The chairman definitely has a report. I'm glad I'm doing this on Instagram Live. Let me say something to Judge Jennifer Chacon, who took the same oath to the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and the laws of the State of Ohio that I took. This pleading that she could tell these people to back off is, if I said it was garbage, I would be insulting garbage. Okay? This is perhaps the worst pleading I've ever seen in my 38 years of practicing law. I am tired of people who do not win elections trashing the system. Now, I'm a Democrat, I have a Republican on either side of me. There is not one scintilla of truth in this complaint. Not one scintilla of truth. I don't know from which of the dark corners of the web they got this petition or they got this complaint, but it is garbage. It is total garbage, and Attorney Jennifer Chacon and Judge Jennifer Chacon can tell her backers to back off, and she's not. In my opinion, she's violating her own oath that she took to the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of Ohio, and the laws of it. I have read this. I have looked at it. I cannot believe that someone actually filed this in a court saying that these things, and they're totally untrue. It is absolutely incredulous to me. It is embarrassing for my profession that a lawyer would sign his name to this. And I'm going to instruct our lawyer, and I'd like a motion for our lawyer to seek compensation for legal fees for filing a frivolous pleading, because this is not worth toilet paper, in my opinion. I'm sorry to be this graphic, but this is the worst pleading as a lawyer I think I've seen. The allegations are untrue. They're disgusting. They're accusing us of fraud. They're accusing us of things that we just simply did not do. And for her to try to distance herself from this is disingenuous, and it's wrong. And so I hope that our lawyer seeks, when a lawyer signs a pleading, we have ethical rules. And our ethical rules say that we are verifying that what we're saying here, that we vetted it. There is not one piece of vetting in that complaint. I am tired. Bob and Sandy weren't here when the last election contest was filed against us, and wild allegations were made. And just before we go into court, it was dismissed. I don't want this one dismissed. I want this one fully litigated. I want these people held responsible for their irresponsible pleadings, their irresponsibility to the director and the assistant director of this Board of Elections, to the irresponsibility of the members of this board who take their job serious, who ensure that elections are fair and they're not full of fraud. And I am disgusted by this. Disgusted. And I don't know if the board members, any other board members want to add
Well,
anything.
I read through this too, and not being an attorney, but the list of allegations with there's just a list of things.
And they're not true. There's not one.
No, they're not, but there's just a list, like where did they get this list? Like you said, off the dark web, but I just think this is a shameful lawsuit.
It is just, it's just disgusting. Look, here's how democracy works. We let people vote, and whoever gets the most votes wins. That's how it goes. This wasn't even close. A 10-point difference is a blowout. For her supporters to say that we switched votes, I'm personally insulted. Okay? For her lawyer to file a pleading like that, he should be held to account for making baseless allegations, because we know, the public doesn't realize, because when they go in and vote, they think it's seamless. They don't realize the hours and the manpower or the woman power, and we have to ramp up from 20-some employees to 900 and some employees. Just the monumental task of doing that. Okay? I want to know any other organization that goes from 20-some employees to 900-some employees twice a year, does it pretty good, does it pretty flawlessly, okay, and then to have allegations like that against us. I'm sorry. I'm disgusted by it. Totally and utterly disgusted by it. I don't know if anyone else wants to answer anything else.
Well, I'm not going to elongate the subject because I think we've already discussed it. I agree, I'll just say I agree with Attorney Beatrice and Sandy 100%. That is trash. The people that are behind it are trash.
Well, there you go. Now, I did send a letter to you guys. The other thing I wanted to talk about is the letter that I generated. So if Bill Johnson takes that job, the way I read the law, okay, is in a presidential year, let me repeat this. In a presidential year, we have to have a special primary and then a special election. Now, the letter I circulated said, please don't do that to us. Please don't do that to our workers. It's 11 counties. It's going to run the state $1 million per election. So that's $2 million that the Board of Trustees of YSU maybe didn't consider. And they could hold a special primary, but they can hold a special election in November to fill out the rest of the term. But for us to hold a special primary, and then to make us hold a special election in August, and then another presidential election in November, is just completely gonna burn. I mean, we couldn't even pay Tom. Wait, this is, how many years in a row we'll have a special, but
Number 3.
three,
Number
but
three.
this one's gonna be worse, because it's gonna, technically, it could be a special primary and a special election, a March primary, and then a November general election.
Yeah, I know. And I had a vacation planned in December, but then this crap, I'm gonna have to cancel that one.
Right,
Right.
No, this is gonna be over real fast.
it should be.
This is gonna be over.
So I did circulate a letter to the board asking the governor he can hold a special primary, because I think by law he has to. But if he could just announce that the special election is in November, so we don't have to duplicate efforts, that would be good. Have you looked at my letter?
Yes, I wrote back.
Okay, and seen
I
it?
read it twice, yeah. 'Cause I think it's a good letter, but I think he's gonna do what he's gonna do, and I think the decision's already been made.
Well, I appreciate he's gonna do what he's gonna do, but he does have a choice of when he schedules it,
Right.
okay? And all I'm saying is,
Statewide.
we have an early primary. Normally, our
Yeah.
primary's in May, which wouldn't have been a problem, but Ohio moved its primary up.
For Super Tuesday.
Yeah, so if our primary was normally when it's held in May, we could have held the special primary
Right, right.
and then the special election, but I don't, look, I know people think this is seamless, but it's not. It's not seamless because you have people at this Board of Elections that work tirelessly to make sure that it looks seamless. And it looks seamless because our director and our assistant director work very hard to make it that way. But there's only so much you can expect from humans. So I'd like to send that letter, I'd like to put it on our letterhead and have the director and assistant director sign it. Not that it'll make a difference, but at least it lets the governor know, have some consideration for these boards of elections. It's not like it's not a presidential year. This is a presidential year. And to throw 2 more elections on us in a presidential year with the absentees and everything else, and then we have to do the audits and everything else that comes with it, that's a whole lot of work.
I'm sure the 11 other counties will definitely agree.
Yeah,
All 9.
I mean, they could
All
hold,
they're all
Oh,
yours.
they're all yours. So they can hold a special primary, but all I'm saying is hold a special election in November. I mean, if the Secretary of State has any influence on the governor, I mean, by law, the way I look at it is,
Nothing.
they have to hold a primary, and then they have to hold a special election. But he can call the special election in November. He doesn't have to move it up to, I mean, what's the difference between August and November? It's really,
The money's all the same.
the money's all the same,
We
right?
save a little bit, which is a little, not
Well,
much.
we
but-
save a lot of labor is what we
Yeah.
save.
Yeah.
A lot of labor and confusion for the voters.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is a countywide election. So the voters, were asking them to come out probably in June or July for a primary. Then we're gonna ask them to come out in August for a special, and then in November again. That's a lot to ask of the staff, of our resources, of our time and our effort. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, the director's report.
Well, you said most of what I wanted to say. But let's add in too, we just went through a recount, the whole seventh ward. There was one vote difference from what we had, because it was a mismarked ballot. We also went through a random audit where we hand counted 3,978 ballots and we were dead on. So we know our system works here. And I've been here 25 years, I've been through contested elections. That is crap.
That
There's
is.
not one specific allegation in there. So even when the television and other people have asked me, newspapers, are you gonna look into it? I don't know what to look into, because there's no specifics within it.
Well,
They're
they just say
broad
things that aren't
allegations.
true in here. They say we didn't calibrate the machines. We did. They said that we didn't canvass the votes. We did. That there were
Yeah.
votes for Judge Chacon that were marked for Jim Malone. That did not happen.
And she had every right to ask for a recount, and she
Right.
did.
Yeah.
And that's your first step before a contested election. If you don't like the vote total, ask for a recount. And we would have recounted every single precinct by hand for her.
Right.
But she doesn't want to do that.
Because
And,
there's a cost there, 38.
yeah, but let's be honest, she's behind this. I know she had front people do this, but she told us from the day after election she was gonna do this, because she doesn't like the results. She lost.
She lost. That happens. Look, I used to be the party chairman. I've lost a lot of elections. I get it. It hurts. Okay? But I don't then say, oh, you guys cheated. I've never said that. There have been a lot of primaries and a lot of general election votes that haven't gone the way I wanted. I've never, ever said that you guys, they have accused us of switching votes.
I know.
Okay, they're accusing us of felonies.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we want to do. We all
And our
conspired.
staff and our
Yeah.
poll workers.
Yeah,
And those are people I know
Makes sense.
yeah.
accuse me of that,
Yes.
so.
And one of them was an observer during an election, so
What?
he knows the
During
process.
multiple.
Yeah.
He's been here multiple.
Oh, yeah,
Correct.
What the heck?
oh, yeah.
Oh, did you see this complaint?
I did not.
Oh,
I didn't know
wait,
about
wait
it.
till you see it.
Well,
When I tell you it's disgusting, I'm insulting the word disgusting.
let me say to you that it's not gonna be over when that's over.
No, it shouldn't be. Because the lawyer that filed this should be held responsible for filing a frivolous pleading.
Who is the person who's the one?
The lawyer that filed was a Mike Chacon.
Ah,
They're not related.
They're not related.
There's no relation, but same last name, yeah.
It's just,
How do you do that?
Especially here.
all right, anything on unfinished business?
No,
Anything in new business?
I think, are we gonna go to executive session with our attorney?
Is he here?
Yes,
Yes.
he is here.
Okay, so,
This is-
wait, hold on a second.
It's this one, the first one away.
that's so weird.
I need a motion to go into executive session pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 121.22 to discuss the pending or imminent court action. Is there a motion?
So moved.
There's a motion made by Sandra Barger. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by member Bob Arndt. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Would the director call the roll to go into executive session?
Ms. Barger?
Yes.
Attorney Beatrice?
Yes.
Mr. Arnott?
Yes.
We are now in executive session. I'd love to have,
Beatrice?
yes,
Mr. Arnott?
yes. Oop, sorry.
Yes.
All right, anything under new business?
You didn't see my lips
Nothing
move
more.
on.
All right, anything for the good of the order or public comments? No one wants to make public comments, they just want to hide behind pleadings? Anyone in here wants to make a comment about how we run the board here?
I think you guys do a fantastic job.
Thank you very much, we appreciate that.
You all work very hard, and you always provide transparency and honesty with your elections.
Just so the public knows, we have cameras everywhere in this Board of Elections. No other Board of Elections has cameras. We publicly publish every board meeting. Our minutes are followed religiously pursuant to the Ohio Revised Code. We follow Robert's Rules of Orders, and there's not one directive or one law that we don't follow. So if someone wants to come here and make an allegation against this board, or against this director, or against this assistant director, come here and say it. Otherwise, don't hide behind a complaint that has that is completely and utterly full of bullshit. I'm sorry I said it. All right,
I'm
let's
sorry, I
set.
have a comment.
Go ahead.
I'd like to get. I was thinking about this wonderful presentation you have about safety and security of elections, that, next year is a presidential year.
Would you
that
stand up and
Oh, yes,
say
please,
your
yes.
name?
My name is Kathy Gage, I'm with the League of Women Voters, and it's a wonderful presentation that you've put together, and if there's any way to get that in front of more eyeballs this coming year, whether you try to draw people to your website or get on the speakers at different groups that come together. I think the more people who know what goes on behind closed doors, the calmer people are gonna feel about how difficult it is to cheat. So that's just my comment.
It is not possible to cheat
I
in an
know.
election.
I know, but the people.
Unless there were 20 to 30 people in on a conspiracy.
Or
Okay.
850 plus 20 staff
Yeah.
members, plus,
Right.
plus. You really have to have a widespread conspiracy.
Yeah,
It's
and
offensive.
and really, I don't care who the mayor of Strother is. I mean, I wouldn't commit a felony to help one candidate over another. I would never do that. And I don't think any of my board members would ever do that. Nor do I think the director or the assistant director would engage in criminal acts to favor one candidate or another. And for someone to make allegations that we're doing that, then have the temerity, have the gall to come to my face and say it to me, and we'll have a debate. Let's set the times and meeting dates for the calendar year 2024.
I think they're all the first Tuesdays, we don't have any
Yeah,
conflict.
if you continue with the first Tuesday of every month again, there's
At
no.
4 o'clock.
At 4 o'clock, there's no holiday conflicts, and then the deadline for the primary in March is actually January 2nd, which would fall on a Tuesday, so it would kind of meet all the upcoming.
All right, so let's entertain a motion to set the meetings the first Tuesday at every month at 4 o'clock in the calendar year 2024. Is there a motion?
So moved.
There's a motion made by Sandra Barger. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Bob Arndt. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, would the director call the roll,
Ms.
please?
Barger,
Yes.
Attorney Beatrice.
Yes.
Mr. Arch.
Yes.
The chair will now recognize a motion to adjourn the meeting. Is there a motion?
So moved.
There's a motion made by Vice Chairwoman Sandra Barger. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Bob Arndt. Would the director call the roll, please?
Ms. Barger,
Yes.
Attorney Beatrice.
Yes.
Mr. Arch.
Yes.
Meeting is now adjourned.
Good luck.
Annie, thanks for vetting all those.
Good luck,
things.
everybody.
Yeah.
We appreciate it so much.